Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCG live codes, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code OmniPoke. For today's video, myself and Mike are going to be doing a Worlds 2019 rewind of the finals. Henry Brand was our eventual winner with Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX, and Shintaro Ito came second place with Blacephalon. Just a quick look at the deck list and what it's all about. Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team has that perfection ability, allowing it to copy the attacks of GX or EXs on your bench or discard pile, making it a very versatile attacking Pokemon. It does have its own GX attack, Miraculous Duo for 2 Psychic, and 1 Colourless does 200, but if we have an additional energy attached, you can heal all damage from all of your Pokemon. And we're trying to use the Welder Supporter to accelerate. Actually, both decks are trying to use this card. It's a supporter that allows you to attach up to fire energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon, then draw 3 cards. So we have the likes of Solgaleo for additional energy acceleration at our disposal, higher damage output threats from Reshiram Charizard and Magcargo GX, and a few Pokemon that synergize well with the Psych Energy that's also in the deck, giving the deck an option to snipe with Naganadel, block tag teams with Latios, and also use Espeon Deoxys for some spread. Mewtwo Mew Tag Team was kind of the new kid on the block. Unified Minds was the latest set out at the Worlds format, and Mewtwo really made a massive splash with this list. And Shintaro Ito, getting into another finals of the World Championships, what a phenomenal player, chose to use Blacephalon GX after, I think, a really interesting day one at this 2019 World Championships where Malamar was very, very heavily played, but for the most part did very, very poorly. I myself actually went out in day one playing Malamar myself, and many people did quite badly with Malamar, and that actually opened the door for Blacephalon to be a really good metagame choice for the day 2 of that tournament, seeing that Pikarom was doing far better, Charizard variants were doing far better, Mewtwo variants and Gardevoir Sylveon variants were all doing very well in day 1 of the World Championship. So essentially, Blacephalon had this window of opportunity that Shintaro really pounced on. I think we've seen from his Mega Ordino deck that he's a phenomenal player at gauging a metagame and capitalizing on it. And I think Blacephalon is a great choice for day 2 of that tournament for that exact reason, where you essentially just have to dodge and weave whoever continues to play Malamar despite its poor performance in the first day of competition. To deal with the Gardevoir Sylveon, it's also playing a double Heatran GX that could get around the Ultra Beast charm that the Guardy Sylveon players could use to protect themselves from Blacephalon. But the idea of Blacephalon alongside Naganadel charging up energies from the discard pile, weldering more energies into play, and Beast Ring allowing us to access more energy directly from the deck. Once our opponent has 3 or 4 prize cards remaining, we have really high damage output from that Mind Blown attack. There's also the option of Bursting Burn and Burst GX, both very relevant cheap energy attack costs. So very powerful 2-prize Pokemon, and I think Shintaro made a fantastic list that's very low to the ground, has a lot of draw from the help of the Dragon Naganadel that you can evolve into, and you can convert away your Ultra Beast as you go. I just made a very streamlined list, so hope you enjoy the games and the chat around the game with our 2019 Worlds Rewind.
Oh, we're off.
And it's working.
We're to the races.
We'll do a quick shuffle.
I mean, mine's in set list order.
Yeah, same.
Got to get this going.
So I don't know if I'm going to do a proper intro for this. I think I might just do a pre-intro that I'll splice in later. So we're going straight in. See,
editing.
Now that I'm editing, the world is my oyster.
Goodness gracious.
But we are here with the lovely Mike, Gregan.
Hello. I am a commentator these days.
Yes, an EU commentator. You may have caught him on some of the Limitless streams this season.
Yeah, I'm also going to be the least aesthetically pleasing trading card gameplay you've ever had on the channel, and will ever have on the channel.
No shot.
I look like a baby giraffe that's just been born, shuffling these up.
But you have played this game for years.
I have, yeah.
Which is stunning.
Yeah. I'm just very much like an onliner.
Yeah.
Like, I do most of my learning online and playing vicariously through watching your videos.
There you go.
I think there was 1 year I checked to see my most viewed channels. 3 of my top 5 were you, Tricky Jim, and Azul.
There you go. So
just watching a video a day.
Student of the game.
Yeah.
Student of the game.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sound like you when I'm commentating. I'm
yeah.
Like, trying to copy it, every word. What would Joe say?
Christ. Right. Okay. So we're doing a 2019 Worlds Rewind here.
With 2018 sleeves.
With 2018 sleeves. Take no notice of that. No, this is the right year. Oh no, this is 2018 sleeves. Yeah, I'm a fool.
I looked at it and I was like, that says 2018.
Yeah.
Because where was 2019?
2019 was in DC.
DC.
Yeah.
So that was my first Worlds that I watched, which is why we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I started with
good.
Unbroken Bonds.
Yeah.
I got a little bonus through work and was like, I want to buy Pokemon cards. I love the game. But we were talking earlier on, I started playing 2011 online.
So you go back a long way.
Yeah.
Sneakily. Right, so these rules are you can do literally everything but attack going first.
Yeah.
So you probably want to go first.
Yes. Supporters.
Do you want
galore.
heads or tails?
Heads, please.
Ooh, and I've won.
GG.
I'm going to be playing the Blacephalon side. Mike is playing the Mewtwo side, which you said was one of your favourites back then.
Yeah, I did a few cups and challenges. I think I won a challenge with the Mewtwo and Mew, came second at one.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit underprepared for this.
Yeah, but this was not the list, and this is one of the cards that I never used because it was trash.
Excellent.
Sorry, Henry Brand.
He's only won a world championship with that deck.
Oh, no.
You'll notice I've got the lovely V-Star markers out as our GX marker proxies.
Yep.
That is a Fire Week 2 prizer. You love to see it. Right, I will begin.
Yeah, I was debating whether to go with something else, but I was like, 2 prizes is all right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look, see what's going on
I
here.
get to play with the buttons. This is exciting.
Yes. I don't know if I have any buttons already on here. For some reason, I just have a random Naganadel GX on there, because it is, so...
Yep.
Let's change that to a Blacephalon, which I will search.
That's one of those.
There it is.
Did that work?
It is. It's worked. There is a small delay on it, but it does get there.
Yep.
Right, we'll get a Blown down.
So it was a scary card back then because of the Beast Ring.
Yeah.
It was also just like the damage output with Welder was pretty good in its own right, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's not just Beast Ring that you have to worry about. Right, my hand is insane. We're going to pop a lovely Ultra Space down and grab a Ultra Beast off of this.
Yeah, there was a lot of very good stadiums back in this era, wasn't there?
Yeah. And I think this was pre-Celtic Swell. Swell was came out in Cosmic Eclipse, didn't it?
Yeah. And then Power Plant was about at this stage.
Yeah, so Power Plant was around. That was one of the main ways Pikarom played in this format.
Yeah, and to block out Dedenes.
Yeah, but it was just a lot of Giant Hearth, a lot of Viridian Forest, that sort of thing.
I quite enjoyed the era where Mewtwo and Mew had Power Plant in it. That was quite fun. It kind of reminds me of Mew playing Path to the Peak these days.
Sure. Right.
You had the good one as well in the active. The one which could
the eye-opening
check your
prizes.
prizes.
I could check for the Burst GX. Oh, it's all there. All the elements coming together. So definitely part of the mission of this deck is to get Poipole down ASAP. So we're doing well on that front.
What's the etiquette on scooping on this channel?
Strictly no. You must allow me to announce Mind Blown for a Squillion.
Okay.
We can do a best of 3 though. We'll do best of 3.
Of course.
I'll turn attach. Now that you've said that, I don't want a dead exchange. My hand is so good. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
just keep going. Why not?
Yeah.
What does this fella do?
If only Shintaro had drawn like this in the finals, eh?
Yep.
Right, you're for it. It's a pass.
Okay. Well, draw for turn. Oh, that's a good card.
Does that change everything?
Well, I'll start off with this fella.
Yeah.
Because I do play...
You certainly do play some Ultra Beasts.
An Ultra Beast. I have a little deck check, but I'm not going to do too much.
Oh, come on. Put the effort in.
Come on.
Are you even trying?
Yeah. Interesting. That's one prize.
Always good.
Yeah. Oh, this was custom capture time. Look at that.
It is custard time.
Yeah.
So I think going into the World Championships, there was a bit of debate with Blacephalon. I know that much, that some people were playing Persian GX in the deck, and some were playing the Dragon Naganadel. I remember that being a debate. But I think the biggest thing about this Worlds was there was a rotation, and we lost so much ball search that we only really had good search for like psychic stuff and Cherish Ball for GX Pokemon. So like half the decks just didn't work in this format essentially.
In case you hadn't worked out, there was no target from the Ultra
I've
Space.
noticed that. Yeah.
We'll get one of those. That's how this deck works.
Yeah, big part of it.
And we'll shuffle it up.
Yeah, I need to get rid of these sleeves, honestly. They're just so terrible to shuffle.
They are chunky.
Yeah.
Look nice.
Yeah, they look alright. Shame it's the wrong year and they're horrible to shuffle.
That would have been very nice if you got the sleeves for the year as well.
I mean, I do have the sleeves for the year, but they're probably just on another year of Pokemon cards, if you can believe that.
So I used to be a fan of the old sideways Mewtwo and Mew. Oh, you've done
Very
it with the
clever.
energy.
Very clever.
It was a fun era, wasn't it? There was lots of
Yeah.
stuff you could do with the...
Complaining when you got Welder in hand.
that was top deck.
That's
That was
classic,
top
that is.
deck.
Textbook.
1, 2, and 3. Okay, we'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
And then I will discard the Charizard.
Look at the synergy.
Look at the synergy. What
It's
a
all
deck.
coming together.
And then we get some of these. We were saying Fire Energy back then were pretty popular.
What a busted energy card Fire was in this format.
Yeah.
You could grab them, you can get them back from the bin, you could yeet them into play. They did it all.
Where did Solgaleo accelerate from? It was from discard, wasn't it?
He's right here.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Come on.
It was
2
discard.
from the bin.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have discarded Charizard.
You're not attacking this turn, are you?
Christ.
You better not.
There's a Dedenne. It's like I said, baby giraffe.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's the sleeves. I'm blaming all of it on the sleeves. This
Okay,
isn't
thank
here.
you.
This
Appreciate
isn't
you.
here.
Okay, so that was in my old hand.
That's in the hand now.
Yep. One of those.
Oh, yes. Coming in. Coming in with a hit.
One of those.
Yeah. Lovely.
And then I'll use the Perfection ability to copy Turbo Strike for
Very
the
good.
knockout. And unfortunately, there is no energy to be found down here.
Energy.
So we will... we'll just get the knockout.
Just
you know,
take a
just
prize,
the knockout.
you know. As you do. Right. Now then.
What were these costing? 4 fire.
Just the 4 there. Right, I'm going to draw.
You're reasonably scary early on, but it's really when you get to that 3-4 that you sort of sit there and watch and see whether the game's going against or for you.
Yeah. I'm going to giant half this away, I think. No, we'll half away a fight.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what the strategy in this game is. Well, I've been playing a bit of Cube with you at events,
Oh, yes.
and you've chucked me in with the Chaos Cube, and I feel very guilty playing against... Like, I played against Tord, and every single card he put down I had to read it, and just watching him do his turn in a few seconds, and every time being like, wait, hold up, let me just see what that does. I felt very guilty.
Feel free to do it today as well. No.
Well, I know what all of these do.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just sort
okay.
of scratching the brain, see whether it remembers. Oh, now that I can take that on the screen.
Yeah.
Look at that bit of text.
I'm going to pop these here.
Yeah, Welder was rather special, wasn't it?
Definitely a treat. Right. I will... I think you're in a lot of trouble here, boy.
I do believe so.
I think you're in a lot of trouble.
Was it 3 of the 4 decks?
I'm going to bounce this.
Oh, go away.
And let's Heat Factory.
Yeah, 3 of the decks you've got from this Worlds format all had Welder in.
Yeah.
And it was
Welder
just the
was just-
Pikarom.
Welder was just the one. Right, we're going to get rid of this. Get one of these.
It wasn't just Welder, it was the fact you had Heat Factory, Giant Hearth, Fire Crystal, Flint. What was that?
Fiery Flint.
Fiery Flint.
I'm going to charge up the boys. Look at this.
Gosh.
I can turn attach as well.
That's a button. One of those.
I can put a little pipe down while we're at it.
You've used your supporter as well.
Yeah, sure have. And we're going to Mind Blown. I've got to do 6 to get the KO. It's just whether or not I want to leave one on the Blown or not. And I think I want to take it off the Blown because you can respond with that Reshizard if you copy it. So we'll take the KO here like this.
Well,
and, lost zone these.
Yeah, they do. That's another thing that's quite important with this deck, isn't it? You had to be resourceful.
Yeah.
Know where things were going.
Yeah.
So, let's see what we can do in this turn then. Right, well, we've got one of those.
Yeah.
In fact, we've got 2 of those. Why not put both of them down?
Oh, yeah.
We'll Heat Factory for 3. Unfortunately, I might have to do a bit of stalling.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's Iron Rule time.
It could be. It could be.
I mean, there's no shame in that. That's why it's in the list, mate. They called Henry a madman, and now look at you. Iron ruling your way back into the game.
Only because it's there.
Oh, right. No need.
Yeah, well, we'll do that, sure.
Okay. Didn't realise I was going to have to get the Capalian card on the screen. If only I'd known. So this was like the most contentious card in Henry's deck, I think. And I think a lot of people dropped it after Worlds, but during your opponent's next turn, their Pokemon can't attack. Just full stop on that. No attacks next turn. And there was nothing the other player could do about that.
Yeah, put that down.
The Martian.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to Bill's analysis this turn. So I was thinking if I thin out a Pokemon, that'll improve my hit chance. But it's still not ideal because I want to be getting energy into play, don't I?
Yeah.
So we'll pop that down. Top 7.
This was also cut from the deck quite quickly.
Yeah. If you're doing a Bill's analysis, it's probably not the best turn.
You know you're in trouble.
Okay. Well, we've got some treats because I haven't seen many of them so far. So we'll see. Okay. It's probably worth just getting those.
Yeah.
And I'll go in and get them.
Seems like a play.
One of them's going to be that. Now, what am I going to do about you? I mean, this is it's going to be snipeable. That was one of the big concerns with Dedenne back then, wasn't it?
Yeah. And not all of the decks played Psychic back then in Blounds. A lot of them just relied on the Beast Energy. But Shintaro did play the Psychic as well. So it did have the potential to Venom shoot some stuff.
Remind me, what does the Burst GX do?
Discard one of my prize cards. If it's a fire, I may attach it to one of my Pokemon. So it's a guaranteed prize for 1 energy.
And potentially an attachment.
And potentially energy acceleration.
Okay, so they're going there. I'm going to gust up, I guess, Dedenne, right?
Reasonable.
Only because I'm going to be discarding them anyway. I think I've got to put it on the active.
Mm-hmm.
An iron rule with that fella. So I do that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Sure.
Like I said, I would have scooped by now. It's only the local
I
rules.
had a pretty insane start.
Yeah.
And your start was a little bit sub-opt. Solgaleo with no energy in the bin's a bit of a shame.
I think just discard that.
Ooh.
I think that's going to be an iron rule.
An Iron Rule GX.
Oh, that's my V-star marker
And
flipping
that's-
over.
And there's the flip there. Very good. Okay. Right.
What a sad, sad situation.
Didn't want to say it. I'm going to play a lovely Hapu. Ooh. This was also a card that wasn't really played in many of these Percephalon decks. I think the most contentious thing about Shintara's deck was that it played some very strange supporters. And the Hapu was definitely one of those.
Again, at the time, it was just, if you could welder, you'd welder.
Yeah.
That was always the dream turn. And when you weren't weldering, it was always rough.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of lists that just went down the 4 welder, 4 poker gear, or as close to as possible.
Yep.
And accepted defeat if you couldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I'm going to Heat Factory.
Ooh. Get to do the old
I'm
hand.
so excited about it. It's satisfying, isn't it?
It's nice. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
You've used one of those.
I've used a hap, yeah, a mishap.
There we go.
I'm going to Ultra Convert away this guy. Going to pop down another Blown.
The thing is, you haven't even had your 3-4 prize turn, have you?
Nah, just waiting for that. Just waiting. Charge up my boys. Now I have done that. I can turn attach. Okay, let's turn attach
Probably should have put that up when you use its ability.
here.
Attachment.
Yeah, lovely. Look at this. He's a natural. It's going to be a pass.
Oh, what a turn.
The
I
iron
force,
rule.
force a pass out of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, first things first. I don't know how many fire energy are left, so I don't know whether to Heat Factory or not. I think it's probably too risky to do so. So I'm going to Giant Hearth, getting the Macargo. It was always very satisfying getting all of your squad out.
The options. The squad options. Now, I can't remember how many energy Henry played in his list. I feel like it was like 10 and 2 or something like that. 2 psychic.
I think it's 3 psychic.
3 psychic. Okay.
Yeah, I see 3 psychic. There is a fire crystal, so it's not all
True,
Dunzo
true.
for the fire and the...
Yeah.
Okay.
3 psychic.
Okay. And then what's my optimal attacker for 3 fire?
That's a great question.
Macargo, but you had to discard, didn't you?
Yeah.
I will welder those
Let's
straight onto a Mew and draw 3. Cherish Ball.
Yeah.
See what I mean about being a bit of a baby giraffe?
It's fine.
It's not natural to me yet.
You're neat and tidy though, which I appreciate. I don't mind the janky approach as long as everything's. I can figure out what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Some people are just scattergun with their board, and that's the more triggering thing I find.
I think it's also familiarity, right? Like I am.
Yeah.
I am not the most familiar with this deck.
Sure.
Get rid of those.
Yeah. That was another contentious card in Henry's deck. The Radar could only find Dodenes.
Synergy.
But an extra out is an extra out at the end of the day.
Yep. The discard side of it is good.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. Just wanting the extra fodder.
Do be getting kind of thin down here.
Yeah, definitely a format where you could go close to the bottom.
That's in my hand.
That's one for you, that is.
Yep. And then, like, what can I attack with? That is... Let's have a look through.
Let's have a look. There's Solgaleo.
Yep.
There's a few other options.
30 damage for each of your bench psychic. Well, there won't be many. Tag Purge is 120. Turbo Strike 120. I don't think I can get a knockout here, can I?
No, I would also be quite worried if you were going in with Mewtwo when I've got so many energy on board. It's quite easy for me to just insta-KO.
What do you expect me to do?
I feel like you want to go down another 2 prizes.
Yeah.
Or I think you need to retreat into this, probably.
Okay.
Because if you give up 2 prizes, I can just burst the game. But if you only give up 1 prize, I'm still out of burst range, and you could try and stamp me down.
Okay, so if I attach one of those...
Yeah.
And then I can leave it there, can't I?
Well, no, because then I could... Well, I suppose you could.
I guess it's weakness, so it gives you more energy on board.
It's easy for me to take a 2-prize knockout, and then I could just burst GX for game, right? That's kind of the issue.
Should I give you a little...
I think you should go Marshadow, personally.
You're a Marshadow fan?
Yeah.
Well, put that there and say, good luck.
Okay, right, I'll draw.
At the end of the day, we are playing out a game that has long since been concluded.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Not only did you go first, but you had a very nice first turn.
Yeah, I really did.
And I had a suboptimal
boot of a turn. Yeah. Right.
I think I could have optimised it a bit if I had put a fire energy into the discard. Then the Solgaleo would have been a bit stronger. But realistically, it's... Maybe I could have caught you off guard with the old Burning Magma GX and discarded 5.
Yeah, I'm only going this deep because you've already GX'd.
Yep. So that was an attachment.
That was an attachment and a retreat.
And a retreat.
Lovely.
You've used all of the above.
I've done the lot. The full suite. I'm going to burn this. I'm going to...
I'm intrigued. I want to hear in the comments whether you find the supporter attachment and retreat useful, because...
I hope so. It's so much effort.
I was going to say,
if it's not, I'm
effort.
fuming.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to just use my GX.
Oh.
Would you believe it? It's a fire engine.
It's alright. We already know the outcome of this game, so I don't...
Yeah, I don't know why I'm celebrating.
It's a bit unnecessary.
No need.
I will...
Half. In a giant way.
There's none left in here, but I'll have a little look anyway.
Yeah.
Gosh. Nothing.
Not one little thing.
Am I allowed to scoop yet?
Oh, come on.
Oh.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can. I feel like the only thing you could do is stamp me here. If you don't have access to stamp...
Is there even a stamp in the list?
I'm sure Henry played stamp.
I don't think there's a stamp in the list, you know.
Oh. Well, that is a problem. Let me check your prizes to see if there's a stamp in it. I thought you played stamp.
I had a look through
I've been
earlier.
hyping up the comeback cards. No, he doesn't.
No.
Well, I'd scoop that.
Was that what you were waiting for?
I thought there was a comeback on with, or like at least not. Yeah, okay. You probably weren't going to win.
No,
but
I hadn't even got.
I thought stamp would give you a little bit of attempt.
Yeah,
yeah. You got to be aware of B string, but you also have to be aware of this attack because I'm obviously a psychic type as well.
So
I
forgot about that.
If you can help it, you want to not go on 3 or do it whilst you put down Jirachi GX as well.
Yeah,
that's the other hurdle. So you've got to be aware of B-String and Naga as an attacker.
So would you say this was an unfavourable matchup for...
I think it was a real surprise that Henry won in 2019. Yeah. I think Shintaro was favoured, but I think he just drew a little suboptimally. And I think Henry took a really good risk by just being like, I don't think your hand's that good. I'm going to just take fast prizes, get you on Beast Ring as quickly as possible. Hope you can't hit enough, and that's exactly what happened. And it just meant that he could then get off Beast Rings again afterwards and just be in the clear.
Because it was the 2 into 3. If you could get the knockouts, was always quite scary for the era.
Yeah. And outside of really weird Espeon Deoxys stuff, I don't think you could have played out of Beast Ring range. I think you always had to hit into it, essentially. So it was about trying to just put them on the spot as quickly as possible.
I guess you could 120 early and then SPDO.
So you could 120 and try an SPDO like some Poipole and stuff like that. You could hit multiple GXs with Solgaleo.
Interesting. Well,
Well,
I'll go first, please.
Yes.
That'll be lovely.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Cool. They're quite hard to mash, aren't they?
They're woeful.
Yeah.
They really are woeful.
Put GX's back, lovely.
Yeah, don't worry, we're on it.
I'm ready.
Yeah, crack on. I'm not going to cut. It's too much effort with these sleeves.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Little treat there.
Little baby giraffe moment.
You're loving that. I also don't think you're that bad.
There is
None to be seen.
basics.
All right, very good. I do have a basic pocket monster, and I'm going second. So do I want to... I have to think about what I want to do, because there's always potential to do some cheeky things in the early game with this deck. I could try and do some weird burn stuff. I could try and burst early. I think I'm going to start like this.
Do you know what? I'm quite peckish.
Is it lunch dinner time already?
Yeah, but I'm trapped in here. People don't realise.
He is literally, genuinely trapped in this room.
People don't realise this setup is...
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a studio.
This isn't
lights.
a real room. That's what you have to realise.
Yes,
this is the... You're seeing the full room right now, guys. There's no more to this room at all.
I had to climb under the table to get in here.
No need to... no one's going to come back now. I'm not going to get any other guests.
You would
They'll know that this is just a dungeon.
You would not believe this.
He's not there again, is he?
Maybe.
Not again.
Not again.
Right, I'm going to take a mulligan.
Do you know what? I didn't look at my hand for long enough to work out whether the other one was better, but maybe the other basic
You just
was
wanted
better.
to do it, didn't you? You can change it if you want to.
No, because I need the other one.
Okay.
Right. Popping that down. That is going to be used at some point during this turn.
Love that.
Okay. Let's... Giant Hearth.
A classic play.
Yes.
2 for the price of 1.
Get rid of the fire. Get one of those. Do we check prizes in one of the most important decks to check prizes in?
Nah. I mean, it's easy to prize check with me too, at least.
It's just you find all the Pokemon
See your
that are
pogs.
useful.
Yeah.
2 of those.
Yeah.
That's useful, that's useful. God, they're quite sticky as well, aren't they?
All right, I get it.
Okay. Right. They go into hand.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Mysterious Treasure, a custom catcher.
Okay. Smells like a welder to me.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Pop one of those down and get to have some supporter fun first turn.
Supporter fun.
Poor little Lily was really the biggest loser from that rule change.
Yeah, true. I mean, even like Oak was seeing play in the Cosmic Eclipse format. It was being played in Florgus Dolls, but still seeing play nonetheless. And all of those sorts of effects just completely tanked. Those like let's search Pokemon. It all became about item search at that point onwards.
Hello.
A few casualties, but ultimately I think overall it's a better balance for the game that you can't support a turn 1 because the advantages are just too high.
Oh yeah, coin flips were even bigger back then, weren't
Yeah.
they? Now, do I? Yeah, sure. Nothing.
Not anything. Not anything at all.
Would you believe that I'm doing this to thin a supporter?
Unbelievable. Trying to
I
thin
think-
that Bill's analysis.
Literally.
Get it gone.
Get it out. No, I think I'm going to be smart and I'm going to hold my hand because there wasn't a huge amount of disruption back these days, was there? What was
It
in
was
your hand? is
basically
it?
just stamps.
Yeah, and if people stamp this early on, you're kind of fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll just
Very clever.
pass to you.
All right, I'll draw
I forgot about this.
this little treat.
Manaphy before Manaphy.
Yeah. The OG.
Well, I assume there was an OG before this.
Yeah.
Many.
It's been bench barrier for a long time. Many a Mr. Mime back in the day. I'm going to swing a fire here. I'm going to half and take no target, and I'm just going to Cynthia.
Okay, and that's the supporter.
Yep.
I assume you're doing the new turns whenever a new turn
Yeah, I
happens.
am.
Because you've just got in the habit of it.
Yeah.
Cynthia was... I like Cynthia in Quagnag. Because it always felt like you didn't want to remove anything from your hand.
Yeah. Cynthia's just a very healthy card. Good for the game.
Malamar as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Just went to all sorts.
it's youngsters these days, isn't it, unfortunately?
Yeah, that's Shauna, right?
Yeah.
Shuffle 5. Terrible effect. It's literally just like not printing a card, essentially. It's just so poor.
Yeah.
Right, I'm looking for ball search, mostly. Come on! Oh.
No ball search?
Well, it's
that's
one of these,
sort of is.
which is good.
Kind of needed that as well. It's a shame.
I'm seeing another poip, I think.
Little poip.
I can actually look through my hearth, so let's have a look now quickly.
So, you're deck checking, aren't you?
It's alright.
That's always the worst time to speak to someone.
I can
isn't it?
multitask.
Yeah. When you're deck checking, how quickly can you get all 6?
Um,
Because you write
it
notes.
really,
as
it
well,
really
don't
depends
you?
what deck it is. Yeah. Because I don't have to do the full 6 very often, honestly. You just
So do you do like 3 and then the rest you're like, well, these are just consistency cards? Like
yeah.
ball
So
search and stuff.
ball search cards and stuff like that, I'll wait until later in the game to check, definitely. But for like Lost Zone box, you have to check all your Pokemon, you have to check all your energy, you have to check like your gates and all your different outs. So you end up checking probably about 48 of the cards.
Yeah.
More or less. And then the other things, yeah, you can either like wait on or not worry about. And then just figure it out later on in the game. But you can do that fairly easily. Right, I'm going to Psy Power with this little chap.
Blimey.
So there.
I'll start with the Ultra Space.
Yeah.
Pop that on there.
Yeah, like some decks are really easy to prize check with. Just going back through the years.
Mewtwo and Mew was very nice. Because
Yeah, I feel like Mewtwo is easy.
you knew what you were looking for.
Yeah. Any like quad supporter deck is pretty easy to prize check, I feel.
Surely not ref.
But yeah, there are always cards that, like bosses orders and stuff like that, that you always need to check as well, because the amount of times I've seen people like get to the game with no win condition because they didn't check X carded in prizes. It's just like so obvious.
I remember this.
Everyone checks Pokemon, right? I think that's
Yeah.
the thing that almost everyone will check, at least.
And then energy, if it's relevant. Like, for example, with Mew, you're always checking energy.
Yeah.
With Lost Box, you're always checking energy.
Yeah. It's definitely supporter cards that I think most people are like greedy on. I think they don't check their
Yeah, Gusts.
Gust until like mid game a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, I used to always come out of games where Custom Catcher would be my story of what was prized.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't find the one.
Once again.
Again, yeah.
You're
It's a
joking.
bit of deja vu,
Where's
really.
the value?
It's a shame, because
It's got to go. Yeah.
that's why I really wanted the
Got
Giant
rid of the
Heart
half,
still there.
yeah.
So,
Rigged.
but it's just as well Dedene's really good, and it's going to get me out of it.
Come
Not
on,
quite.
Dene, do me a favour.
We'll just do both of them.
Yeah.
What do I need? That's pretty solid. That's quite good. I think that's the main focus for now.
One fire in the bin at the minute, if that's in your plans.
Yep. Yep.
Something tells me it might be.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. Very clever.
Is that the end game? Not quite. They go into my hand.
Yeah.
And then we'll pop one of those down.
Huge.
I think I need that one first.
Yeah, makes sense.
So discard that first. Get myself that.
Yep.
Now you might want to cut now, because this is a big top 7 poker gear coming in.
Is it huge? Is
Yeah.
it welder or bust?
And there's 2 welders in there.
Oh, might have to cut that. No, I'll tap.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. This was always quite exciting, wasn't it? Let's see if he's in there.
This lucky dip.
Yes, there he is.
You are brilliant.
Brilliant.
In this game.
Pop that back in. There was a Bills in there, and I was like, "Oh no, am I going to have to do one of
Stuck with
those?"
the Bills.
Don't want to.
Bill.
Don't want to do that. The fun thing with Welder was that it didn't say fire Pokemon on it, whereas I feel like
Yes.
that would have made a lot more sense.
Sure would. Sure would have.
If I was going to redesign this card,
Yes.
because I will use that on
That's your
Cavalier.
turn. Oh, that's your welder. Yeah.
That's me Welder
Yeah, love that.
for 3. Now I do want to retreat it,
Huge.
because that puts another one of those in.
Oh, he's working on all cylinders right now.
Chuck that in
His brain is
active.
at full capacity. Is there another Mewtwo to come?
Attach for turn.
Yeah, love that.
Not quite sure how there's a fire energy in my hand.
Off the welder, you drew it.
I did.
There you
That's
go.
correct. Thank you. And I'll put one of those down.
Yeah.
And I will copy Solgaleo's Turbo Strike and
Love that.
attach 2 fire energy.
Huge. Right.
And take a prize card.
Very clever. Right, I will draw.
It's all flooding back.
I'm gonna Viridian away a welder.
I feel like it would be nice to see a reprint of Viridian, because I feel like,
Such a great evergreen card.
yeah, because discard synergy is lacking right now,
Yeah.
so it would be nice to see that back.
Yeah, for sure. I think Lugia would end up playing the card even without any basic energy in the deck. I think it would just play it for a discard.
For discard, purely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you would rely on other people having it a little bit as
Yeah,
well.
I guess that's true. Right, so we're going to weld.
Okay, now what am I scared of?
A bunch of these Naganadels, I think.
Yeah, you can't get the knockout.
I could.
Oh,
I
you
can
can
get
get
another
another
Nagan
one and
and
then
turn
attach. Yeah, and it's only 2, because that 3 damage. That was very clever of you.
Think of
wasn't it?
that.
Gosh.
Think of the levels I'm working on right now. Think of the levels. Gosh. But
You're not going to hit it.
No, I missed, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to
Okay,
attach for turn here.
very good.
And I
That was
should
one of those.
probably...
And you have used the supporter.
How many in hand do you have?
Let me just
4,
use the very
5.
cleverly designed.
Yeah, I'm not doing it for their benefit. I'm doing it for my benefit. 5, is
There
it?
you go. Yep, 5.
And you only have Solgaleo in there at the
I
moment.
can even tilt it to the correct angle
Yeah,
for the...
very good.
the viewer.
Definitely debating whether I should Bursting Burn or Burst GX here. It's close. It is close, that's for sure. I think I'm just going to Burst GX.
Okay,
Oh, it's discard, I don't get to keep it. There you go.
calm down.
I'd like to keep that for sure.
Yep.
It's certainly discard, but there you go. Over to you.
Draw for turn. Okay. Well, I will start off with the Viridian,
Yeah.
getting rid of Espeon and Deoxys.
Yeah.
Go into my deck. Now the thing is, I've used a lot of Welders up now.
Yeah.
There are
Three in
three
the
in
bin.
my discard pile.
Yeah. But
So
there's 5 in play, right? Or 6 energy in play already. So.
yes, so I think I am very comfortable with the idea of just hoping you don't get much energy in and that I just get so far ahead. Because I don't think I can do an SB DO strat. I'm looking at those two numbers and they do
200.
add up to 200.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going
You
to...
don't think you can get
Because
to
I
the
need
welder.
another energy on this bad boy.
Yeah. And the last welder, right? Because this is 6 energy total. that
Yeah,
you need.
and my hand currently does not look like it's going to get me there.
Yeah.
But the next question is... do I Flare Strike? Maybe what would have been smart would have been to discard that. But it's not...
You can also just bench it.
Yeah,
right? There's no
'cause
shame in it. No harm.
it would only be... Because Gust in this format wasn't too scary, was it?
Yeah, just the customs. So you expect it maybe once in a game to come out.
Yeah, so the stall was less likely.
Mm-hmm.
I put one of those down as well. And I will also use the Marshadow to take away an option from you.
Very cheeky.
It goes into your
Bins
discard,
itself,
doesn't
yeah.
it? And then I will copy the Reshizard Flare Strike for 230.
Very clever.
Can't attack during my next turn.
Yeah.
Now the question is, does he have it?
Well,
Is that a new turn? Oh, you've already done it.
do that.
You are clever.
I'm going to draw.
Because this is the turn where you can put 3 on that fella.
It sure is. That's the charge up. There's me attach for turn. But it's then about what else I can do.
Yeah.
We can do that for sure.
Thin some cards out.
And some cards, certainly.
Yeah, because without the Gust and without, the bench protection and stuff like that, it was very much like Mew was the only bench protection, but then like with the Espidioxys, it was very much play the cards as efficiently as possible at times.
I'm going to draw 1.
There wasn't a huge amount of variation in the strategy. It was very much like what order you drew it and having all the different routes planned out.
Yeah. And it's also partly why the tag teams were just so good, because they were so beefy and Gust was so bad. Just like being in the active position was so important. Just having a thing that was hard to kill. KO,
Yeah.
I should say. Come on.
Because it was quite a simple format in a lot of respects, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was basics, there wasn't much evolution, there wasn't much Gust.
Ultimately, it was like a 3 or 4 turn format in terms of KOs. Oh, I was definitely hoping for it to denate out there. That is a shame.
Unlucky.
Unlucky! Unlucky, boy. Now, do I go for that or that is the question. I'm going off B strings, certainly.
Because you can, in theory, knock out this and then knock out a Dene.
Yeah.
Because of that burst.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
But the hand is...
But if you put it in play...
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, he's getting it.
Because it only has 170, right?
210 it has.
Oh, it hits 170.
Yeah.
Has 210.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Am I getting this or another Poiple? I think I just get the big guy.
And I still have my GX.
Yes, that's also very scary.
I could have knocked you out with my Reckless Duo to put me out of range, but that would have been...
Do you have enough? Is it? Yeah,
So
it needs 5,
psychic,
doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. Does it need 5 energy or 6? It needs 5 energy.
It needs 4.
4?
To do 200 and heal everything.
Really? It's only 4?
It was...
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
broken.
And that would have got rid of that little... If I'd seen that, I would have done it.
I mean, it doesn't change this time.
No, it doesn't change it now.
Anyway, I will just turning point for the KO.
Very good, very good.
And hope that it is the turning point in this game. Terrible. Oh dear. Right.
Yeah, you never guess what I drew off the top of the,
Oh, you
off
genius.
the deck. It's one of those.
Two at the moment, yeah.
Ooh. See, big giraffe.
There you go. Every time. Always
Okay.
with the giraffe.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Don't you dare custom catch me right now. Don't you dare. Don't try it. You've spent one. You're not allowed to hit anymore.
If I'd put Jirachi down, that would have been smart. But
That
I don't
would
think
have
I
been
ever really had a turn to do it. So
there.
I've got a psychic energy off that, so that's my attachment for turn.
Love that.
I
I don't know if I've done this.
and get Cherish Ball.
Yeah.
So there is 1 custom, 2, 3 custom in deck.
Go for the Dene Dig.
One of those.
Dig Dene.
And what's quite sad as well, I think there's 2 switches in this deck. And I've got both of them in my hand currently. So I do not have a way to reset if I go for a Flare Strike.
Yeah.
So you're weak to Psychic anyway, so I probably wouldn't need to if I have to attack the active.
Yeah.
I will switch into my Charizard and switch back. And then do one of those.
Yep. Right.
Fresh 6.
Here we go. That's 7 there, boy.
Research.
That is 7 there.
Judge. You won't believe it.
Don't you dare. I mean, you got decent odds, to be fair.
No.
You won't believe it.
Not a single one.
Ah,
One of those out of the deck.
yeah.
I think I've got other ways to thin as well. Yeah.
Sure. The slug.
Get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's in the hand. What's going on? What do I want? I don't want to help you out.
Oh, please.
I think you might just have it. So if there's a psychic energy in there, I believe you just have it. Yeah.
There they are. There's my hits.
Didn't get a single custom out of that. That's
Rubbish.
very unlucky.
I think if you can custom me there, I don't think I can get there with Heatran, because I don't have Welder currently in my hand, and you're taking off my draw engine.
Oh yeah, that's the other option. Heatran.
Yeah.
Was it? There's no like saucy little GXs that I could pull out.
I mean, I'm not going to be milled.
No milling. God, this was always the fun bit, was when you come up with different ideas. I could get 200 on it. That's not enough.
Yeah. That's 10 away.
No need to heal. Miraculous Geo is pointless. Clear Vision, you're not using a GX.
No.
No rainbows yet, so Tingly Return.
No tingles.
I think I'm going to Iron Rule.
Ah! Very twisty. Very twisty.
Genius!
We're still playing.
We have a game on our hands.
He's literally made me show the energy and then made another play. That is genius. Now he's thinking like a gamer. Okay, right.
Oh,
Very good.
goodness.
I'm going to cherish ball. Deary me.
But now the Heat Tram play is very likely.
Yeah.
It's still a play you have to make.
Still has to be made. That much is true.
But you are still on... Oh, no, you're on 2, so Beast rings away.
Well, you're on 3.
Oh, I'm on 3.
So Beast rings
That's the way it
alive.
works, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking you were on it, and I looked over and went, oh, he's on 2.
It's our mate Hapu. Played this way too many times this game.
I feel like we've had a lot of very similar actions,
Yeah.
which weren't very common for these decks.
No.
Cabalion in play is unlikely. Right. So you can still Beast Ring.
Sure can B string.
And there's a lot of energy about, swilling
A
about.
few swilling. Absolute pig swill. Right, I'm going to stamp you to 3 cards.
It'll be 2 customs and
Yeah.
or a Bill's analysis.
Ooh.
Just why I didn't thin him out, isn't it?
Yeah. We're going to ring to the blown. And then we're going to...
I was thinking playing that Cherish Ball to get the Dedenne out was potentially reducing my outs off of a reset. Because that's a good out to have. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's all for nothing right now, isn't it? The Iron Rule.
Potentially all for nothing. You never know. I mean, I can't attack this turn, so that's
No.
at least done something. But
That's what the text says.
there you go, but that much we know. That much is a given. But I will just simply pass.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what did we get? What goodies? Okay. Well, first off, I will Acrobike.
Yeah. Can't believe Mewtwo wasn't playing Stamp in that list. It was like such a staple in every Mewtwo list going forward after
was.
this tournament.
I'll put that down.
Sure.
I'll do one of those. Nagger up, please.
Naga, you sure?
Oh, because you got game
have-
on board with that.
Yeah.
So I've just got to trust that the psychic energy is somehow
evaporated.
disappeared.
Pretend that I hadn't shown you it.
Well, I'll go for the Blacephalon then, please.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Yeah. And then a custom catcher to draw
You drew
3.
3 of them.
One of them was off of the Acro.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey. Bill's analysis.
Love that.
I'll look at the top 7 of my...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the top 7, is it?
And then which ones do I want? Not really any of them. Was it you may reveal, so it's a May.
No, you got to show me what they are.
No, but as in like I don't have to take
No, 'cause
2.
you can pretend
as-
that there are no valid targets, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's... I'm going to say you may reveal. I'll choose not to reveal what I'm taking, actually.
No, it was more like not one where you
Yeah.
have to take 2.
Right.
Because in theory there is no way for you to know, so therefore they can't force you.
Yeah.
Can't force you to
make
do
me-
anything. Well, actually, there is very little I can do other than just sort of announcing an attack that does a lot of damage.
Go on.
So I will announce... was probably Flare Strike, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's a good amount of damage, that is.
But then, I mean, you've won next turn anyway.
Yes.
We know that, thankfully. Yeah. Fair play.
Thanks for the games.
That was good fun.
It was good fun.
Oh.
It was genuinely close. I think if you hit the customs on that turn, I think you do win.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have Welder in hand, and I would have needed Welder in hand to be able to Heatran for game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have had to have top decked exactly Welder or out to Dedenne to have a chance of refreshing the hand.
Mm-hmm. That was the only out I saw at the time, but like you said, resetting stamp not being there.
That makes it Blounce way harder.
Yeah, because that moment at the end there, if I'd got that knockout with a resetting stamp,
yeah,
then the psychic energy would have to play down the previous turn and so on and so on.
And just anecdotally from this year's Worlds, Blounce did quite poorly day one because there was so much one prize Malamar decks that it was like a bit of a surprise to see anyone take it. But Shintaro will always just surprise the format anyway. That's just kind of his MO. So
yeah,
it was a surprise to see Blounce doing well, but obviously Shintaro realised that Mali did so bad day one, no one will play it for day two, which is essentially exactly what happened. So he was just bopping 3 prizes.
Yeah,
good idea.
That's what it was good for, wasn't it? It was good into 3 prizes, bad into 1 prizes.
Yeah, and then there were a number of Japanese players that were playing Gardevoir Sylveon day one to counter Blacephalon actually, which was interesting to see. But Shintaro basically just took no notice of that and played double Heatran as his out.
Yeah,
because that was Heatran was like a one of maybe in the list, and then Shintaro came out with 2.
Yeah,
just to beat the Guardians.
I don't know whether I'm just thinking ahead too far where tag calls starts to come in, but I do feel like this list, in hindsight, could have been better. Like you said, resetting stamp, maybe not the Cabalion. I know we used it in both of those, but realistically, I wouldn't have wanted to have started it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's always the way, right?
Because this was right off the new rotation
of the format, and they got so much right, or like more right than everyone else. Because just for context, like I think I had like 2 coach trainer in my list as a supporter at the time, and I had like Great Potion, and I had like some really objectively quite bad cards. Now that we look at how Mewtwo was built at the time, so they were just like miles ahead by going, I want basically nothing but Welder, and that as well as Tord's list shaped Welder decks from then on of being like nothing else matters, Welder as much as possible, essentially.
Yeah, and we didn't have as much information back then, so the new format was even harder to predict what was going into.
And I mean, I was playing like because I was literally coaching at that point. I was playing like 6-7 hours a day of Pokemon, and I still was miles away compared to where they got with the list. So
very good list.
You'll look back and be like, sure, I can make 3 changes and it's better.
Yeah,
but they were already like 10 changes ahead of other people at the time.
Yeah. And it only got more exciting as the format evolved, because Mewtwo could weld itself to the format based off of what was good and what
Change
wasn't.
its text. Yeah, exactly. Right, nice little throwback.
That was fun.
I'm officially better than Shintaro with that win.
You're officially better than me. That's all you've learned from that. Me starting Cabalion 2 games in a row with Mewtwo and Mew. That's what you're better than.
And with that, we're off. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in another one. Cheers.